is it's a small, lean, mean operation that was started in Boston. It was essentially formed when 3 wealthy families separately came to conversations with Rudy Tanzi, who is one of the extraordinary scientists trying to cure Alzheimer's disease, and were moved by the not only the work that he was doing and the urgent need for a cure, but also so frustrated by the lack of frankly, success in research. And it was started 10 years ago. And they wanted to do something to basically kind of kick it in the shins and kind of get it accelerated a little bit. So they formed this foundation. I'm really taking Mike's material away, but I work with him. So I'll just try to finish this thought. And the idea was, well, there's a lot of money that gets spent federally. It's about $500 million. That sounds like a lot. It is a lot compared to what we as a foundation can spend, but it's not nearly enough, and they're not making nearly the progress they need to make. So what can we do? And Mike, I'll let you kind of take the story from there. What is it about your Alzheimer's fund that is different from other foundations, and how do we augment the federal effort?
First, let me say I feel like I'm in an eerie, one of these things is not like the other. There are 3 people up here who are world-class, best authors of the 21st century. I'm not one of them. Can we thank them for being here tonight? We don't have a lot of time. I want to be succinct. And so when I'm traveling around the world talking about this war, and I apologize for the military analogy, but it is war, tonight is a battle, and you're here. I want to thank every one of you for being here, because we've won the battle tonight because you're here. But one of the sound bites I use is that in this country we spend, for every $450 we spend on patient care, and we have to spend that money. It's important money. For every $450 of patient care, we spend $1 on research for Alzheimer's disease. Now, you're changing that by being here tonight, but we're also here to ask you to spread the word that we need to change that tide, because we're going to win the war, but only because people have decided that that scenario is not tolerable. So that's what your Alzheimer's Fund is all about. It is a venture philanthropy, or better said, maybe a catalytic philanthropy. So we have VC people on our board who said, if things are going slowly, let's treat this like it were a venture capital firm, and not say, here's a pool of money, come apply for it, but say, number one, we're going to underwrite all the costs of this organization so that every dollar that is donated goes directly to research, and we're still doing that 10 years later. We're also not going to just wait around and have somebody fill out big forms, because scientists tell us that up to 30% of their time is spent writing forms, and the goal of CureAlz Fund is to get those researchers away from filling out forms and back into the labs where they can be effective. We're going to actually deputize a group of scientists. That group changes every year. People come, people go, but they are deputized to go out and find people who are making dramatic differences in the laboratory. The phrase I like to use, it's Henry McCants, one of our founders, founder of Greylock, if you're familiar with VC. He said, we're not interested in that 3-yard plunge. We were interested in the 40-yard pass. And we just celebrated one of those 40-yard passes in the last month, as the New York Times highlighted, in that we were able, CureAlz funded research at Mass General Hospital was able to create Alzheimer's in a petri dish, so to speak, which is a huge breakthrough for really all neurological diseases, because it means that we can approach testing compounds that might make a difference, not in lab animals, because sometimes we can cure things in lab animals that doesn't work in humans, oftentimes. And we can't do it in humans if, in fact, we're dealing with compounds that might not be safe. This is going to slingshot the research capabilities well into the future, and that couldn't have happened without the support of people like